and I'm going to be your co-host for today's seminar. Okay. Now, this seminar, as we already know, is all about it's a Cisco career path seminar, helping you to make a decision on a course you can take or a career you can actually follow through with Cisco. So let's just get straight into it. God. So Jesse, I'm a network engineer, and those are my handles. I have a couple of certifications from Cisco, not too many, and I'm still in the path to achieve more. So I don't know everything, but I know something I can actually share with you. So just stay tuned and follow as I enlighten you on some of the things that Cisco has to offer. So for this seminar, there are a few things we would be touching on. Not everything, but I'll touch on a few things. So let's try and follow through. We would be looking at Cisco as a company. So, because if you want to pick up a career with a particular company, you should know what they are really about. Is it a company that can stand the test of time? So we'll touch much on that. We'll see what they've done, what they are doing, and things like that. Now, we'll also look at why you need to get a certification, because this is all about certifications. The IT industry now, if you don't have a certification, you're going nowhere. So we'll see the reasons why you need to get a certification. We'll also be looking at why you have to choose Cisco. I know there are other vendors out there, but why Cisco? What makes them stand out? Why should you go for them? Now we'll look at the available training and certifications that Cisco has to offer you. We'll also be looking at the exams and pricing option, so you can adequately prepare for this career path you're about to venture into. Then I'll finally help you to choose a path, because there's so many
Jesse,
things to do. Remember,
Jesse,
yeah, hello.
please microphone very down, like we can't hear you.
Okay, is it better now?
So please, yeah, speak up a bit, okay, please.
Okay, is it better? Can everybody hear me?
Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah, it's better.
I think originally I was not hearing you clearly, but since I started using my headphone,
Okay.
I can hear you clear.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
those who are
so
not hearing,
you just speak up a bit for us. Okay, that's all.
Okay, sure. Okay, so we'll be looking at the. I'll equally help you to choose a career path with Cisco. Then also we'll see where to start from, because after everything you should know how you should get your foot into the door and start things out. Okay. Then we'll reserve all the questions for the last. So if you have any questions, kindly try as much as possible to jot them down. You can put them in the chat box, and I'll try as much as possible to answer them as we go on through the session. Okay, so let's quickly start. Now we head off the very first thing. Now, who is Cisco? What do they do? Cisco is they've got so many products. They're doing so many amazing things out there. But so let's start with a little bit of history of where the company has started from and how far they've gotten. The company, as we know, is Cisco Systems, and most of us will just call them Cisco. It's one of the largest corporations that produce computer networking products and services. Okay, now since 2006, they decided to shorten the name. That's why we call them Cisco these days, and we don't really put the whole thing out there, Cisco Systems. Now, it was established in 1984 by a married couple. Okay, basically Leonard Bosak and his wife, Sandra Lena. There they are in the early days when they initially started. Though they are not really playing actively in there anymore. I think they've resigned and stuff. There are new people handling the company, but they were the ones who actually started it. And it all started at Stanford University. Back then, Len was basically he was the head of the IT operations, and he was able to figure out a way to connect two different computers in different local area networks. He found a way to make them kind of communicate together. Now, he initially tried to sell the idea to people. Nobody bought into it, so he and his wife decided to start up Cisco as a company together with some of their friends back at Stanford University. There's a whole legal battle here and between they and Stanford, but eventually they stood tall and they won through. And if we take a look at the name Cisco, where's the name coming from? It's basically San Francisco, and the logo actually depicts the Golden Gate Towers. He was actually driving with his wife on this particular bridge, and the name just popped up. We're like, okay, why don't we just choose San Francisco and use this bridge as the logo? So that's why if you look at their logo, it has those lines and looks like actually a bridge. So they've really come far. The company is more than 30 years old, and as such, that should tell you they have really stood the test of time. Now, the first product ever produced by Cisco when he left Stanford University was an Ethernet interface card. Okay, now this card was actually sold to DEC computers. Okay, they actually got this um, card from Cisco, and what really gave them the break, okay, the real break for them was the following year, and that was in 1986 when they produced and sold their first router. Now, the real deal wasn't the router. The real deal was the software that actually ran those routers. It was the first router to host a multi-protocol software. So it could actually integrate with so many other platforms, so many other protocols that we had back then. And it is this software that has become known as the Cisco iOS, which to date runs on almost all of their routers out there, right? So it's a software that made them really stand out, and ever since, Cisco has really been dedicated to the software, trying as much as possible to make it better. We'll talk more of that later. Now, in 1990, they decided to go public, and they were listed on Nasdaq. Okay, and currently the company is worth close to $200 billion. So it's not a small company. They are really doing well out there, and it's one of the reasons why I'm so much interested. I'm very passionate about this particular company. Now, their strength has been with the major acquisitions that they have done over the years. They started small. They started with the router. They started with the iOS software. But over time, Cisco is everywhere because they made very good acquisitions. And here are some of the companies that Cisco has bought over time, and that has become that has really helped them expand their their product portfolios. So you have companies like Linksys. Most of us who have been in networking for a while really know of this name. It's a giant when it comes to your home or your Soho networking environment. You have others like Geo Security, you have July, you have Nova, you have WebEx, Insemi. So many different companies have been acquired. More than, I think it's a total of over 150 companies. We'll leave links down there, and if you check out, you see how many companies they've actually bought, and has really helped the company to expand, and it makes them a force to reckon with. Okay. Now, speaking of products, let's look at what Cisco actually does. What are the things they actually have to offer their customers or their consumers? Now, if we can put them into categories, we have networking, we have wireless and mobility, we have security, they have data center, they are into analytics, they have collaboration, Internet of Things, video, and they are equally into amazing softwares. Don't forget, it's actually, Cisco is much more of a software driven company than a hardware. It's their softwares that actually make them stand out. So they are really geared towards the software aspect of the business. Now let's take a look at some of these devices from the networking session. So with networking, they have switches. Some of us might be familiar with them, others might not. Here are some switches they deal with. Their switches come with in all different sizes and types. So we have switches ranging from your LAN, local LAN access switches that we see there. We have switches like our compact switches. We have LAN core and distribution switches, the very huge ones. We have our data center switches like the one you see down there. And we have our industrial Ethernet switches. So they are not really a small company. They have a lot of products that we can actually find ourselves working with. Now, when it comes to their router lines, they equally have amazing routers. So they have routers for every single aspect of your business, from WAN integrations to the edge, to service provider, to industrial, to virtual routers. And they equally have routers for small businesses. Now, for most people, when we hear the name Cisco, we think they are only for the well-established and big companies. That's not the case. Now, Cisco has something for every type of business, right from your home to the largest corporations. They have something for you. Just that we don't really look out for them. That's why. But then they have a lot of devices to meet everybody's needs. Okay. When it comes to wireless, they equally have a lot of wireless products, and their wireless products are good. They acquired the company called Aeronet, which has been the backbone for most of their wireless devices, and they really do well. When you look at industrial grade Wi-Fi performance, Cisco is the first thing that you're actually going to look out for, right? So they have indoor access points, they have outdoor and industrial access points, they have wireless controllers, they have cloud managed cloud controllers, and then they have the controllerless access points. So these are all different types of access points that you can actually pick or look out from Cisco, right? Okay. Um, Apart from these things, they're actually in the fiber optic game. So they have devices that serve well with the fiber optics. So they have the dense wave multiplexing devices like you see there. They have optical network management solutions to help troubleshoot your fiber and all those other things that you can actually think of. And they equally have data center intercoms and all that. So these are all devices that Cisco has, and they really do well with them. Okay. They equally have modules. Now, one thing that has really made Cisco stand out is device support and the longevity of their devices. They produce very good hardware. Their hardware is not the type where I buy and in a year or two the hardware is damaged. So they try to offer support. And one of the ways they do this is by producing models. So if I have a router today and I think I need to have an upgrade, I might not necessarily have to change the entire router or the entire switch. I might just have to buy a model, and then once this model is acquired, I can just slot it into the device, and that's basically it. And I have upgraded the system. So they have models like this. This what you see here is a model that can be slotted into an industrial grade switch. Right? So that's a switch model. Good. Okay. They equally have effective network management softwares which can be used to what to control your network, from things like your Cisco DNA Center to their prime infrastructure to their virtual network analysis models. Like you see, these are all softwares that Cisco actually produces to help you better and efficiently manage your networks. Okay. Aside from that, they've now ventured into the software-defined networking, and that is the next big thing in networking. Okay, we are trying to shift away where we try to make what SDN does for you is it kind of makes your network very agile and flexible, making it very easy for you to manage your network to meet your changing business requirements. And it does that by having controllers to manage your physical network infrastructure, so you can allocate your bandwidth and all of those things effectively very well. So that's one of the things that SDN does. It's an entire subject on its own, which we'll look at eventually sometime to come. Okay, they are equally big in the security thing. They don't just do networking. Networking comes with what? The ability to secure devices. So they produce amazing devices like the firewall and the NGIPS devices. So we have a typical example. There's a Firepower 9300 series firewall. So that's what you basically have there. And they equally do endpoint security analytics, and they do this using their endpoint analytics application, which basically tries to give you deep visibility into all the various threats that are out there on your endpoint equipment. So it's a solution that really acts very well. They equally offer you cloud security, and they do this with a Cisco umbrella. Okay, it's in scenarios or environments where you can't use VPN, but then you still need a secured way to connect to resources online. Cisco Umbrella becomes one of the ways you can actually do that, and it works fantastically, very well. So they equally have the multi-factor authentication solutions from Geo Security that allows you to make sure you can enable user trust. You can identify users before you even grant them access to resources over your network. It also allows you to gain visibility into devices, so you can get a detailed insight to almost every type of device accessing applications across all your network platforms. And this is possible from Geo Security offered by Cisco, and you can properly trust the devices. You can enable secure access to all applications following some of these models. They equally offer very good email security as well. Okay, so it's their email security solution allows you to effectively defend against things like phishing, from business email compromises, from ransomware, and all the other threats that our emails usually would face. All these things are security solutions that we have coming from Cisco, and the very latest one they have introduced is what they call the Secured X, which is more like a unified platform to help you secure all your devices in your infrastructure. So that's what Cisco does for you, and this is just a few, but there are others out there. Okay. Now, when we speak of services, Cisco is very good at support, which is one of the things that has really made them stand out, because then they don't just sell devices to you, but then they are ready to support you anytime they are what there are issues. So they have a very responsive and proactive support policy, which helps them to help out their customers or their clients. Then when it comes to performance and transformation, so when that time comes when you need to optimize your businesses, Cisco is the one place to look out for, because they have processes that allow you to quickly accelerate and transform your business at every stage within its life cycle. Then you also have the operate, allowing IT managers to quickly um, bring in new technologies or adapt to new technologies. Sorry, whilst maximizing availability and strengthening security as well. Now, that's what we are interested in today: training. Right? That's what most of my talk would be focusing on, the training aspect. So, Cisco is committed to training people to get to know their devices and to use them effectively. So, they have an entire certification and training branch that oversees some of these things. Now, what is there for you to learn? Now, there's so many different aspects of technology when it comes to Cisco, from cloud to collaboration to data center to wireless. You'll have your data analytics. Data analytics, you have your Cisco digital network architecture, you have Internet of Things, which is a very big one these days. It's one of the areas to actually start considering. You have your routing and switching, which is one of the things that has really kept them out there. That's what brought them to the limelight. When you talk of Cisco, everybody says routing and switches, right? That's what they were known for. You equally have security, you have service provider, then you have the DevNet for my programmers. So those who thought if I'm into programming, I don't have a place in Cisco, you really do have a place with the introduction of DevNet now. So people who are actively engaged in coming up with network aware applications, they find themselves within this particular space. So there's something for everybody when it comes to Cisco education. Okay. Why do we need a certification? Cisco has a host of certification that you can look out for. But why? What's the importance? Why should I get a certification? I can still learn my IT stuff and move around my normal life. There's a reason. One of the major reasons why you need certification is to gain credibility. Okay. Now, if you are just starting out in your career, okay, and you really want to establish yourself, the best way to start out is to get a certification, because what this certification does is it becomes your stamp of approval. Okay, so where if I already have let's say a college degree or something, or even if I don't have a college degree in IT, but I want to pursue something inside IT. One of the things I can actually do is to quickly uh, acquire a certification. Right. Kindly try to, Ebenezer, can you try to mute your mic for me? Thank you. Yeah, sure. Okay, sure. So with the, so like I was speaking
Yes.
about credit. Yeah, right, man. Okay. So like as I was saying about credibility, getting a certification is one of your quickest ways to acquire that stamp of approval from most of the objective organizations that are out there. Okay, so it's really going to help you. Then also your marketability. Certifications would increase your marketability, right? And when I say marketability, what I basically mean is, if let's say you are considering a change, or let's say you already have a job but you're trying to consider a change or something like that, that's basically acquiring a certification would really increase your marketability, in the sense that most HR people actually would consider people with certifications than those who actually don't have one. So if for instance you have your degree and all of these things, now these things are generic. Ask yourself how many people graduate with a degree. You are more than 10,000 out there, but if you are able to get a certification, it becomes fairly easy for an employee or any organization to pick you out. Okay, now the next reason also is employer preference. Okay, most employers these days actually are looking out for people who already have professional certifications. So aside an academic qualification, a professional certification is one of the things that you'd always have to look out for. Now, how do they do this? Or why are they shifting to this kind of approach? For most employers, they don't want to employ people who are very green. They have no idea about the solutions or the devices that they use. So, because they don't want to spend much on training. But if I already have a certification and I go look for a job, or an employee is looking out for someone to perform a particular task for them, they would always consider you because I have Cisco devices. This guy presents me with a CCNA certificate. Of course, he's the best one for the job. So automatically they tend to give you these things. Okay. Now the next thing is to increase your chance for a promotion or advancement. Okay. For most of us, we might already be in the industry, might already be having a job, maybe as an IT technician somewhere, but you don't really have any proper certification. If you really want to go up the ladder, getting a certification is one of the things that puts you out there. At least when there's any promotions available, they would tend to look out for you first before they even go outside. Because if I'm already in an organization and they need someone to now start managing their Cisco equipment, don't go look outside. If I can prove that I have a certification that certifies me to do that kind of a job, they'll definitely give it to you. Now, also for your personal satisfaction and professional development, we are humans. That personal gratification is always there. You shouldn't be someone who says, okay, I have this academic qualification, so that's it, it's enough for me. No, you die when you stop learning. You, as a human being, you constantly need to what? Upgrade and improve yourself. And one of the things that can be done, or one of the ways you can do that, is by actually attaining professional certifications and IT certifications to be specific. Why IT certification? Because it's one of the industries that it's very dynamic. It's seriously changing almost every time. So getting a certification allows you to do some of these things. Then earn more money. I guess that's the reason why most of us are here. We all want to have a bigger paycheck at the end of the month, and a certification is one of the things that would ensure you can actually make more more money than you're actually making today. Okay, because if you just have a degree, there's an amount of money you can make. But if I have a certification, it means now I am a professional. There are things I can do that someone who has a generic degree can't do. So that's one of the things we can actually look out for. Then also to gain new skills and what? And knowledge. Okay. If you are someone who is constantly chasing knowledge and you are chasing certifications, like I said earlier on, technology is not stagnant. So as you constantly pursue these courses, you learn new things. So you would always be in vogue. Okay, so it's very important to acquire certification at a point. Then also becoming an independent consultant. Not all of us want to work for people. Some of us want to be our own bosses, want to be bosses in the IT industry. And one of the ways you can ensure that you can do these things is by getting certifications. Why do I say so? For instance, if I go somewhere and I pride myself as a network engineer, or I can do this networking job, or maybe there's a contract I have to bid for, when I tender in the bid, they would have to look at my qualifications. And if there's nothing that really says I'm really an IT person or I'm a network engineer, nothing guarantees I'm actually going to get that particular job or anything like that. So as a person, if you want to get into the consulting business, please try as much as possible to get a lot of certifications as you can, because that's what is going to open doors for you. That's what is going to let you get more businesses. Okay, so these are the reasons why. Why do we have to go for Cisco? The first reason is because Cisco is a market leader. Okay, now when it comes to the switching and the routing industry, Cisco commands about it's currently is more than 56% actually. So they really command a lot of the market share. So it's one of the reasons why you would have to look out for them. Then also they are a technological leader. Okay, so Cisco doesn't just go to bed. They are constantly coming up with new technologies. They're always trying to improve their devices and their software. So it's not a company that produces something and then they just leave it as it is. They don't touch it with all these developments going around. They don't do that. Then they have a proven track record. Like I said, they have been around for a very long time. They are over 30 years old, and that should tell you if any organization is more than 30 years, they really have some good experience and they are very good at what they do. When we take a look at most of the IEEE standards that are out there today, most of them were initially Cisco proprietary standards, so the whole industry had to what adapt them. I think a typical example when it comes to routing is your EIGRP. Formerly, EIGRP used to be a Cisco proprietary what routing protocol, but now it's an industry standard. Likewise, most of the other IE standards that you have out there. Then also reliability is one of the reasons why you would have to choose Cisco. Imagine you're a consultant, you deploy Cisco devices. Because Cisco devices are good, hardly would someone call you the device has broken down, because see, don't be the IT guy who is constantly going back to the field to repair the same thing. It means one, your products are not good, and you yourself, you equally have issues. You're not very good. You get it? So if I stick to Cisco, I know I can deploy a Cisco router, I can deploy a Cisco switch, and that particular customer won't call me for the same reason. If they'll have to call me, it might be because they like the devices and they want more of it. You get it? Because Cisco devices are pretty reliable. Okay, then also Cisco has a lot of commitment when it comes to small and medium-sized businesses. So, like I've said earlier on, if you think Cisco is not for the small companies, it's a lie. They actually have real support for them because they have a lot of devices that actually are intended for SMBs. Right. So if I'm not a very big company yet and I'm supporting SMBs, then Cisco is the way to go because I know I can buy affordable Cisco grade equipment and deploy them for these kind of businesses and they'll be very happy with them. Then also their solutions are quite simple. It means if I'm going to deploy a Cisco solution, it's very, very easy to work with their systems because they have intuitive management systems, something like they have good GUI based network management. So it makes it very easy for me to control things like my routers and my switches. They equally have a very simple command prompt to work with as long as you know what you are doing. It's one of the easiest ways to configure most of these devices, right? So it's a very good platform and it's one of the reasons why you would have to go for them. Then when it comes to security, Cisco is committed to security, right? Now the reason is if I'm actively into network, my network devices, or let's say network supports everything. All my devices are on my network. So if I don't have security as a priority, then I'm going to have serious issues. So Cisco is really, really committed to securing and seeing to it that they have good policies in place and forced to secure most of your investment when it comes to your IT world. And also, Cisco is quite what they are smart, okay, in the sense that most of their new switches are designed in such a way that they can easily what optimize your application experience, okay, and they provide that application visibility and control, and they are intelligently able to manage what your traffic. Okay, so I can actually prioritize mission critical applications within my business, and that's one of the reasons why you would have to reckon with Cisco now. I'm not just buying a device. I buy a device that solves almost every problem you are ever going to have within your infrastructure. Okay, good. Then also they are built for tomorrow's workspace. Okay, what this basically means is if I buy a Cisco device today, it's not a device that would just die out in a few years, but these are devices that are expected to last decades. You get it? So they are equipped with technologies that would still support future technologies. So even back in the days, let's say 10 years back, when power over Ethernet wasn't a thing to go. Most of your Cisco switches you would buy could still support them. They had an option for PoE and stuff like that. So that tells you they always plan ahead of time. So you don't have to constantly be changing device when there's a new technology. Then when it comes to end-to-end solution, you can trust Cisco for that. The reason being that they have a very huge portfolio of devices and software and all of these things. So if I have to deploy a product for a client, I don't have to worry my head so much with the integration from different vendors, because I can go and buy. You don't have to do, let's say I'm buying HP router, I go and buy another brand. I go and buy Dell. You can just buy Cisco, and you have everything from your collaborations, your computing, to connecting. All these devices can be sorted out from Cisco. So they are a company to reckon with, right? So let's take a look at the certifications that they have available for you. Now, Cisco certifications come in 5 different levels. Okay, no, you see more than 5 there, but I'll explain to you. It's mainly 5. You start from the entry level. Okay, now at the entry level, this is geared towards individuals who are just starting a career as a network professional. So you're now you're just interested in, you just want to get into networking now. So the entry point is where you usually start from. Then you have the associate, you have the associate level. Now this is where you master essential things. So here I'm kind of streamlining the things I want to actually learn, and it's much more rewarding. Okay, and it can easily learn the possibilities that are there with newer technologies. Okay, so the associate level certifications are geared towards people who really want to learn more, and they really want to do much more than just staying at the entry level. Now we have the what's happening to this slide? Oh, sorry about the slide. Wrong keys. Now you have the specialist level, which I will skip. I'll talk about it shortly. We have the professional level. So now when you decide to focus on the concentration, so I've decided to go with, let's say, collaboration, then I can now take professional certifications geared towards that line of a career path. Now the specialist you see here, it's a bridge between your professional. Formerly, what basically happened with the older exams, I know Cisco has changed their exams. It's not like what it used to be some years back. Okay, they really advanced and improved the certification track system. With the former professional level, most of them included about 3 exams you had to write, and until you are done writing all 3 exams, you don't get or attain that professional certification. So I might have written, let's say in the old exams, if I was following the CCNP routing and switching, I might have written switch, I might have written route, but I haven't done T-shoot. What it means is I'll not get any certification until I finish the T-shoot, and I can call myself a CCNP professional. You get it? But with the new certification, what they've done is they have this specialist which has been introduced. So if I write just one exams from the professional certification track, I'm still rewarded with a certificate. So if I'm looking for a job, I can say, oh, I'm a CCNA, a Cisco what? As certified specialist. You get it, at least you get a job. They know, okay, this guy is above associate, and he's not yet a professional, but then at least he has taken the first step and he's heading towards that direction. Okay. Then we have the expert. We have the expert level, right? Which is for people who have really gone high up there. Okay, so if I think I have years of experience, I know my stuff, then I can go for the CCIE certification. Okay, it's one of the most prestigious certifications out there in the IT industry. In Ghana, we have less than 20 people who can call themselves CCIEs, right? So it's a very prestigious certification, and I know Emmanuel would speak more on that, so I'll just leave it now. Then you have the architect. Okay, so this is the highest and the most ambitious accreditation you can ever get from Cisco. We'll learn much more of that when we delve into the certification properly. Okay, so let's look at the mainstream certifications that Cisco has to offer you. So with the entry level, you have the CCT. That's a Cisco certified technician. Okay, and here you have two main parts you can actually tool. One being the CCT data center, and then the CCT routing and switching. Okay, now the data center is geared to people who are just starting out, and it would equip you with skills required to support and maintain a Cisco data center. Basically, a data center where they really actively require on unified computing systems and servers. Now, when you do the routing and switching part, you are basically going to focus your skills on supporting routers and maintaining them. So supporting routers and maintaining switches and stuff like that. That's what you basically be doing there. Now, at the associate level, you have three different tracks that you can actually follow. From the DevNet associate, which is geared towards programmers. Okay, so if you are into programming, but then you want something from Cisco, you want a certification from them, then the DevNet associate is where you can actually start from. Okay, so it validates your skills as a software developer or a DevOps developer. You can equally end up as something like an automation specialist, and other software professionals can actually take this particular one. So these are the career goals that you look out for. Then we have our regular CCNA, which basically does something for you. With the regular CCNA, it's more or less like it's now become more of a generic network certification. Okay, so it will deal with routing, it will deal with switching. You touch up a little bit on security. You do a little bit of automation. You have what's the next one, sir? Yeah, I think these are the major ones that you are likely going to be touching up on when you look at the mainstream CCNA now. Then you have the Cyber Ops Associate. Okay, so with the Cyber Ops Associate, these are those interested in cyber security. Cyber security is big. Cisco is equally there. They have something to meet you up. So if your idea is to get into cyber security, you can always start with the Cyber Ops Associate, and it's a very valued certification out there. At the professional level, you have DevNet Professional, where if it's a progressive path. So if I did associate, I can always continue and follow up with the professional. Then you have the CCNP Enterprise. So if I chose to go the regular CCNA route, then I can do this, and all the others down there, from collaboration to data center, security, and service provider. Now, are there any prerequisites for your professional? With the new certification track out there by Cisco, most of your professional certifications don't really have a prerequisite. So I can just wake up and jump straight into CCNP to become a Cisco professional. Though I don't advise it for people who are now like for newbies. I don't advise you jump straight to professional. At least go through the track so you can acquire the skills and the knowledge. Then you have the expert levels, which you see out there. So it's a progressive track. So if I think, okay, fine, I've done CCNP Enterprise, I really want to get some recognition, then I can go follow my CCNP, CCIE Enterprise Infrastructure, or I can go for CCIE Enterprise Wireless. These are the two main ones you can actually go for, and all the other certifications you see out there. Now, for the architect, this is when you are really at the end of your game. You have really gained an experience, you have learned a lot, and you feel you can introduce something new. Maybe you can introduce a new protocol or something like that. As long as you can prove this concept that it would work, you can actually apply to Cisco, where you would have an in-board meeting with Cisco, with members from the Cisco board. Then you can prove this thing. Once you prove it and it works, then you attain a status of what? As an architect. Okay, because now you are actively designing with Cisco, right? So these are the mainstream certifications you have out there. Now they equally have other technical specialist certifications like the ones you see out there, which you can equally look into as well. They equally have other certifications like digital transformation specialist certification. That's go much more business analyst and stuff like that. So that's way high out there. So these are certifications you can look out for. Now let's talk about pricing, the exams and pricing, right? Okay. So at the entry level, when you decide to take an exam, you just have to you take one exam, which runs for a duration of 90 minutes, and you have about 65 to 95 questions that you have to answer. depending on what you go for. So if you go for data center, it's 90 minutes. Your questions are between 65 and 75. If you go for the routing and switching, then you have a total between 55 to that much you can actually write. Now, when it comes to the associate level, you equally have to write one exams with a duration of 120 minutes, which runs within the same duration, 65 to 75 questions. Okay. Then you have your specialist, where you would usually have to pass one professional core exams. Don't forget, I'm telling you, most of your professional exams entails 2 exams. So if you just pass one of them, usually the core exams, you attain the status of a Cisco certified specialist. Okay. Then at the expert level, you still need 2 exams. One either a proctored exams or a written exams, followed with an 8-hour practical lab exams. Okay, so with the 8-hour lab exams, usually you would have to travel out. Okay, so either you're going to Dubai, Malaysia, or you're going to the US or any other country that has a Cisco testing center, that's a Cisco lab for you to do that basically at. So that's basically what you have to work with. If you have any questions, kindly note it down and I would address them when I'm done with the presentation. Okay, so these are the exam stacks that you basically have. Now let's look at the price. Now with the architect, there's no exams like I said earlier on, but let's look at pricing now. So how much is it going to cost me to get a certification? Now these are the pricing available from Cisco. So you have the DC Tech Data Center CCT exams. That's for your entry level exams. All of them are at 125 USD. Now this pricing is for Ghana actually, but in other countries, I think when we hit the Pearson View website, we can get the pricing for your respective country. But then these are for entry level, and I think currently, due to the COVID-19, these exams, the entry level exams, can be written at home. So you don't necessarily have to go to a Pearson View testing center. You can just buy the voucher online. That's after you have taken the course. Just sit behind your laptop and take the exam. So it's very easy. But then when you come to the others like the CC and that is associate level exams, they are rated at $195. So you can see here. So your normal CCNA, your DevNet exams are also there. So $195. Now when you go up to the professional, you pay $300 for each exam. Right, so if you get to the CC and P level for your core exams, it's still going to be $300. For the concentration exams, it's also going to be what, $300. So that's relatively the pricing you have out there. Okay, and then for the expert, that's where it becomes quite expensive. With the expert written exams, it's $450. Then the practical exams is $1,600. Now this might look expensive, but then they are not actually. Why do I say they are not? Now when you start right from the entry level, you're able to do, you have 125, which you spend, but you're able to secure yourself with a job or something, right? Because once you have these certifications, it's your chances of getting a job is pretty high. The job pays for itself because these certifications have a shelf value of 3 years. Most of Cisco certifications expire after 3 years. It's not like they constantly want to be taking money from you, but the reason is that they want you to constantly upgrade yourself. So that's why the certificates have to expire, because technology is not stagnant. Like I've said earlier on, technology is always changing. So if you have a certification from 10 years back, it doesn't guarantee that you can work with today's technology. That's why you constantly have to try to upgrade yourself and upgrade your skills out there, right? So it expires, but then we believe that before it expires, you'd have gotten a job, you'd have been able to raise the money to take a higher certification, right? Good. How do we choose a career path? First of all, let's look at what is available from Cisco. What careers can you get in Cisco? So like I've already shown you this. If you're somebody who is interested in the cloud, there's something for you. If you think your thing is collaboration, you are sorted out. If you're interested in data centers, Cisco has an offering for you. Wireless, routing and switching, IoT, DevNet, service provider. Almost every core branch in IT, Cisco has something for you. So there's a career path you can actually follow from that. How do we make a decision? it's one of the difficult things for people to actually do, because maybe I'm more confused. I know I want to do IT, but where do I start from? How do I take that bold step and start? It starts from identifying a target area which is right for you. So I would always say, set yourself. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know the things that actually you are enthused about when it comes to technology. So if you're able to identify this, then it becomes the first step. So I know, okay, I'm somebody who is fascinated with hardware. Maybe if I want to get into hardware, that would be good. I'm someone who's is fascinated with communication. So let me try and look at networking. Or I like how softwares work. Let me look at programming. That kind of a thing. Try and set yourself, and then you can actually tell what is actually best for you. Okay. Now, when you are able to do that, I would always say you should choose a specialization. So you have searched yourself, you've decided, so I have to go. So if I choose, let's say, networking, where do I have to start from? Always start from the beginning. It's never too late to start. So don't say I'm already old. How do I actually start this whole thing? No, start from the beginning. If you don't start from the beginning and you just jump into the middle, you get lost along the line, because you won't know all the fundamentals and you'll always be lost in the class. Okay, or the whole thing becomes very frustrating for you because you didn't take your time to what to start from scratch. So whichever specialization you choose, whether be it CompTIA, be it Microsoft, be it Cisco, they all have entry level certifications for you. So let's say you decide to take a course in networking. Cisco has the word certified network entry networking what technician. Okay, that's a CCT. You can always start from there. Or if you have a little bit of a background, I can always start from where CCN straight. You get it. So always try to start from the beginning. Don't jump, please. Try as much as possible not to jump around. If you jump, you would seriously find yourself in some serious trouble. Okay, then once you start from the beginning, one of the benefits of starting from scratch is it now makes you generalized. Okay, so let's say for instance I take something like the entry network course. It gives me, or it would brief me on all the other aspects of networking. So I'll have something like wireless, I'll touch up on security, I'll touch up on collaboration, I'll touch up on automation. So once I have all these general overview of these other branches, I can now make an informed decision and say, oh, okay, I think I found programming and automation in networking quite interesting. I would want to follow that path. I think I enjoyed wireless, so let me follow that wireless track. I think, oh, I'll still stick to my routing and switching. It was fun. Then I towed towards that routing and switching route. Or I like security. Then I towed towards a security line. So that's one of the benefits of starting from the beginning, so you can have that generalized view of what to do. So now you know what you want. You have been generalized, right? You have to choose a specific path and follow through. So once I know collaboration is my thing, then let me start collaboration. So I can go in there straight and follow through and do my CCNP what? Collaboration all the way through my CCIE. Always try to become what? An expert at what you do. That's the only way you get rewarded. Don't be the IT guy who becomes a jack of all trades. I always say specialization is the key. Specialists will always make more money than people who are what? Generalists. Let's use our doctors as an example. When you go see a specialist doctor, you always pay more than just walking into the OPD to see what a general doctor. Right. So try to become a true specialist at what you do. And in doing that, you still get to get some knowledge of all the other things that are there. Though you might not be an expert at them, but then you have a fair idea of them. And this makes your work as an IT professional fairly easy. Okay, so try to be a master of something. Don't try to master everything. Just pick one and follow through. Eventually, it will pay off. Okay, so that's how we decide on a career. What about degrees? I know some of us already have degrees. Some of us don't have them. What impact is it going to have on your career? It doesn't really make a difference. Okay. Now, depending on what your career goals are, I stand to be corrected. So if I'm somebody who is interested in getting a job, let's say I don't have a degree, but I'm able to achieve enough certifications. When you go for a job interview, chances are they'll pick you someone who has a degree with that certifications, depending on the requirements of that job. So if that job is very professional and technical, and I work in with my certifications, automatically I'm already fully qualified for that job. They'll pick me up. Okay, because most of our degrees tend to be quite what generic. It is good because it's a requirement to for most job openings to say at least a minimum of that. But then if I've equally attained something like a CCNP, your degree doesn't really do anything because then I would always get a job over you because I already have the skills, right? So it doesn't really matter, but it matters. Okay. Now, those who are trying to acquire certifications, please do acquire certifications, but then don't forget academic qualifications are also very important. So you try and get them along the line. Okay. Good. So where do we start from? Decide on a course. At least now I have enlightened you. You have an idea of all the courses that are available to you. Decide on which one you want to take. Now, once you are able to decide on a course, please try to find a good training center or the appropriate course material. And a mentor, don't forget someone to actually mentor you on your path. Then decide on a date to start the course. Don't just say, I want to do CCNA, then you sit in your house. It doesn't work that way. Say, I want to do CCNA, I'm going to start in June or I'm going to start in July. You set clear timelines. And it's one thing I've learned is when you set timelines, you're able to do a lot. But if you just say things, you set goals without timelines, you can't do anything. The goals will always be staring in your face. So try as much as possible to set a date to which you would want to what? Start the course. Once you have started the course, pick a date and book your exams. And my final advice is try and stick to the date. Don't book a date for an exam. Let's say I can make it a goal that okay, in 6 months I want to be certified. So once I start my course, instantly I go and then I pay for the how do you call it? I go and I pay for my exams and book it up for maybe in December. That alone will be a motivation for you to stick to your schedule and learn and prepare for the exams. If you don't do these things, I'm sorry, you might never really be able to get the certifications. So decide on a course, get a good training center or good course materials, get a mentor, decide on the date you want to start the course, make payments and start, and then pick a date for your exams. Pay for the exams, book it up, and prepare for it. Okay, so this is where I bring my presentation to an end. Now it's open to ask questions. So those who have any questions to ask, feel free. You can always raise your hand. Your mic would be enabled, so you can ask all the questions that you want. Okay. Is any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Um, my name is Richard, as you can see from the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to ask a question. Well, I'm an HND holder in marketing.
Okay.
I want to be in this system too. That's the technological way.
Okay.
This generation, yeah. I have much interest in it, and
Okay.
I want to start. I want to start everything as a fresh. But my problem is I don't know if go school in Kofori, that's Eastern region.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
do.
don't know.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
We actually would. It's possible to take the class no matter where you are. You can always chat us, and then we'll schedule that for you. So we have. I think Emmanuel is actually going to address your question for you. Right. Emmanuel will address you very soon. So you are in Koforidua and you're seeing if you can still take part in this whole thing. Emmanuel is going to address it for you. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
okay. So Vincent is here. He also wants to ask a question. So I'm on mute, Vincent. Vincent, you can actually talk. We are listening.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Vincent. Yeah, here.
Okay. Yeah, please. Like, I wanted to go into cyber security, but I'm not an IT guy. But so I wanted to ask if it's good to start with the cyber ops.
Yeah, sure. You can always start with the cyber ops, but depending on your background, since you're saying you're not an IT guy, we might have to start you with a little bit of a basic training. Then you can follow up to the cyber ops.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that for you. Right. So I hope your question has been answered.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. But we'll contact you again. Maybe I'll pick up you and we'll talk afterwards. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you see, if you also want to ask the question, or okay, no, here, Jonas wants to ask the question. So I'm unmuting you so you can also ask. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, we are here, Jonas. Please follow through your
Okay.
question.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Daisy.
Yeah. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear
Okay. My
you.
name is
Yeah.
Jonas.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm from Takrady.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to ask. I have a degree
Okay.
in
Yeah.
telecom engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to pursue this.
Okay. Your question is not very clear. The line is a little bit breaking. If you could
Yeah.
reproceed.
What I'm saying is that I
Mm-hmm.
have a degree in telecom engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I want to pursue this Cisco career. So what I'm asking is that can I start from associate, or is it that I should start from the entry level?
Yeah, no, sure. You can start from associate. Since you have a telecom degree, means you already have the fundamentals of networking and all of that, right? So you can
Yes,
equally
please.
start from associate. And
Associate.
please, mind you, not everybody has to go through the entry level, okay? And most of the time, you can actually start straight from the associate level because the entry can always be prepped. So you might not necessarily have to go and do a CCT before you go through CCNA. When you get to our centers, we can always prep you very fast and just continue straight with the CCNA. Okay, so Adam, I think you also have your hand raised, so I'm going to enable your mic so you could actually talk. Yeah, Adam. Adam, you have the floor. Okay. So I think Adam is not ready yet. So let's Lee you can actually
Yeah, I'm
Lee.
on.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
fine. So
on.
okay, sure. So we are listening to you.
Yeah. So what I'm asking is that I wanted to pursue the security aspect of your training.
Okay.
Has to do with fixing of security cameras and all those stuff?
Okay.
If yes, where can those of us in the eastern region, where can we get the training? Or is it that we always have to come to Accra?
Okay.
And then the third point is that I think you also talk about some of your products.
Mm-hmm.
Can you display some of those products on the screen for us to see?
Okay. Okay, fine. I get you. Emmanuel is going to answer your question. So please stay. Emmanuel will answer you shortly. Okay. Emmanuel.
Yeah, so I can take it up, right?
Yeah, you can.
So you stop sharing the screen. Let me take it up.
Okay. But someone asked the question. I hope you're listening. Or
Yeah, I do. Let me finish
about the
my
CCT.
present.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let me finish my then. Right. Who has the question?
It was Adam. You have the question
Adam.
about
Please.
security with CC.
Adam, please remind me after my presentation. Okay, I'll take it up for you.
Okay,
Are
I
you
hear.
good? Okay.
Yeah, I hear.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess can see my screen, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm doing just about 15 minutes, no, less than that. Okay, let me do like 10 minutes presentation with you. Okay, so I'm basically talking about the host of this event, Ramsey Infotech Solutions.
Okay.
And we're basically an IT company that does training and support and consulting. So we do stuff in systems. We actually do training and support in networks. We run database platforms. Also do application development, desktop, mobile, and then desktop, mobile, and web application. Okay, and then we do security in the area of cyber security, ethical and counter enterprise security, and all of that. We also do motion pictures and then static pictures in terms of computer graphics, graphic design, and then 3D model animation. All right, so this is our vendor. We actually do stuff for Cisco, Oracle, Microsoft, VMware, and other vendors actually we work with. So if any career path you want to follow in IT, you may be actually interfacing with one of these people, either Cisco, Oracle, or Isaka, all of that. And then we also do stuff for Prince 2 and PMI in the US. On Cisco front, I know Jesse has actually done a number of things with all this from the entry level to the CCIE level, and it's huge. It's huge. The reason I'm saying it's huge is that this thing I normally tell people who want to enter into Cisco. Our company, okay, we did a project for one country in West Africa here, their central bank, and we're doing just simple IT audits. And it was a procurement a project we were supposed to enter into a tender and all of that. And then the requirement of the tender was that we're supposed to have a CCIE on our team. Okay, at the time that we're applying for that particular business, we didn't have that, and it was a lot of thousands of dollars for that project. Now I had a friend here. You know, in Ghana we have about less than 30 people who are CCIE. Like if you look at the entry level. Like if you're looking at it, like we have the entry level, we have the CCNA level, the associate level, the professional level, and then the expert or internet network expert level. We have the CCD, CCIE, voice wireless, and all of that. We had only about 30 of them in Ghana. So which means that if you want to become an expert, you have a lot of work to do in terms of buying the equipment for labs and all of that. Now, this guy actually promised to give us his CV and his profile with his certificate. And then he said that he's going to take $10,000 for that. Now, $10,000 is a lot of money. In Ghana city is going to be close to about 50-something thousand Ghana cedis. And that's not a chicken change. And what was he going to do to help us? Nothing. Nothing. He was not part of the team that went to the country to work. He wasn't the one who developed a proposal for us. He just gave us his CV and then his profile. That's all. And he was chopping $10,000 for free. So apart from all the things that Jesse has said about the benefit certification, if you're also an expert in this area, you can also sit at home and people can even use the certificate to do projects and you can get a lot of money from it. So it's important for you to make that sacrifice today. That start this career path is going to help you a lot. Now, Oracle is another area in database management, middleware and application. We run those training and support in that area. And then on Microsoft front, we are looking from the client to the development level. So client server, productivity databases, down to the development on Microsoft platform. If you want to go to Microsoft platform, we are also having programs for you on VMware and then CompTIA. So somebody asked a question about the what do you call it, the entry level. You may come and do your CCNA with us, okay? And you may not have any knowledge, but for example, I've done Network Plus, what we call it N Plus with CompTIA. Then you can also come and do CCNA, for example. Because fundamentally, that gives us the basics of networking, which we can actually leverage on that as a precursor to enter the CCNA class. So you can do that. These are the companies we have actually worked within Ghana and outside Ghana. We have done some work for EcoBank. We have done some work for Ministry of Energy in Ghana here. We have done some work for Ebony Oil, KPMG, and all of that. So a company has done this project, and you can be confident that our consulting services are on point. So these are the things we normally do. Let me run faster and go to what I want to talk about. Now, one of the reasons, and I want to add to what Jesse said, one of the reasons why I also admonish you to go into Cisco is that Cisco is very powerful in terms of the network business in the world. And the issue is that there are a lot of clouds around Cisco. Cisco holds more than 65% of all the infrastructure sold globally in the world. So Huawei is selling, Lenovo is selling, HP is selling, all of them are selling their boxes but Cisco is selling more than 60% of that total. Which in companies will need more Cisco professionals to work for them compared to HP, compared to Huawei, compared to Lenovo, compared to all other companies that are competing on this front. So Cisco is one of the wonderful company or wonderful vendor you want to associate yourself with. And another reason why Cisco, there's a way of no end. When you actually get certification, the certification has to be renewed every 3 years. I don't know, just you mentioned that, right?
Yeah, I did.
That every 3 years, you have to renew it. And so it has no end. You can go and go, and that doesn't make you rusty. You become a bit always refreshed all the time. And it's important for you to understand that dynamic. I said this one, every vendor wants to be like Cisco. Everybody wants to, so Cisco is a place to stay. And then you also respect it, because we have actually sat on some committees who employ network administrators in some companies, and I have had the opportunity to do that. And in the interview, when you come and say you have CCNA, I'm not interested in any other thing. Like, I want to just stay with you. And I share this funny story that there was an interview where actually we went for a company. The guys were about 200 people, and only one person had CCNA. And we couldn't interview anybody. We left them to go because none of them could do the job. And that is why companies are not having patience for them to employ you and go and train you. Make sure you get a certification now if you don't have it. Well, get a certification now and then get the respect you need. Cisco is very practical. It has no theory around it. Everything is your devices, everything is compared with devices, and then you can build yourself up gradually through the ranks. It's important. Okay, so that's about it. So what are we going to do next? So our company, what you are doing is that if you are here and you are interested, you want to take a career path in the Cisco, we want to help you, okay? We want to run the program in the next few weeks, okay, on this program. And we are going to run the CCNA training, that is the first level training. But if you are here and you have a background in CCNA, if you are CCNA certified, whether in routing and switching or security or voice or wireless, whatever, you can come and do your CCNP with us, and you can do any of the specialization, or we can move on to do a CCIE level with your written, and then you can do your lab. So there are things you can do, but for now, we want to do the CCNA certification. If you are interested, you can join our class in the next session, okay? So what are you going to learn? So let me pull, sorry. Oh, give me a minute. Give me a minute, let me do this. Okay, I guess it didn't work. Okay. No, it didn't work. I wanted to show you something, but I'm not finding it. Okay, let me go on. So we have all the courses from routing protocols down to security on our class. So you can actually join us for that session. Now, when are we going to do? We are going to have a weekend session. We are going to have a weekend class for anybody who wants to be part of our training. It's going to be only on Sundays and Saturdays, okay? And the session will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for average of 4 weeks. Sorry, I made a mistake, 4 weeks. The training is starting on the 5th of
My mic is off. Okay, so the training runs from, okay, yeah, sure, it's got it.
Okay, so are you there, please?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, there was a bit of noise out of my background, so I wanted to just mute myself. Okay, so we are on the 5th of June. We are going to start the new training, okay? JC will be facilitating that training for you, and it's going to be very, very practical. JC, can you mute everybody for me?
Yeah, everybody's muted. It's not from them. I think it's from your background, but everybody's muted.
Okay. So because most of you are new, we are actually trying to give you some bonus, okay, for your training. And we are actually giving it to you at 1,050 Ghana for the 4 weeks training. Now, the advantage you get is that you have an additional 50% discount for those people who are new and they have not done anything. Cisco going to actually have an experience, and then you can come and pay 525 Ghana cedis. You can make just a commitment of 150 Ghana cedis before the 1st of June. After 1st of June, if you have not really made the commitment, the center cannot take you for that fee. All right, and so that's about it. For this seminar, we are going to distribute participation. If you want to get this certificate, please call this young lady called Anita on this line. Okay, so 05453472262. Then talk to Anita for the certificate. She will give it to you. But if you want to also participate in the training that is coming on June 5th, please talk to her and get her to give you the whatever you have to meet before we can come over. Thank you. And this is my personal number. So if you want to talk to me, you can also pick this number and talk to me. I want to pause here and allow you to ask your questions now. If you have any more questions, you can ask me.
Okay, so I think Richard has his hand raised. I'm going to unmute you so you can ask your question. Okay, so Richard, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think I have Jonas. Yeah, Jonas is still up. Yeah. Jonas.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. About the center for the Eastern region. That's what I want to ask again.
Okay, so Eastern region. Okay. So what if you are not in Accra? Okay, just take this number. Okay, the number on the screen, like 0244. Just chat me on this line. We'll arrange something. Okay, chat on this line. We'll arrange something. Eastern region, or if you're in Kumasi or Takoradi or Accra. Sorry, outside Accra, you can just. But if you are in Accra, we have 2 branches. We are in Chaba, and then we also have a branch in Tema, Community 18, that is starting on the, July 1st. So if you want to join the Tema session, then you pay your money by 1st, and then you can join us later in Tema. Any other question, please?
Oh, that's all, sir. That's all, sir.
Okay, I can see a hand. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Adam's hand is up.
Adam, talk to us.
Yeah, my question. You said I should remind you when you finish the presentation about my
so
question.
Can you come again with a question? Sorry, I missed it again. Sorry.
Yeah, what I asked was one of them was answered about the Eastern Region Center for the training. Then the rest was about the security training. I was asking, does it include the security camera fixings and all those stuff?
Okay. So
yeah,
I think
I also asked that you should display some of the devices you said you sell.
We sell.
No, we don't sell devices.
We don't sell devices, though.
You don't sell devices.
We don't sell the devices here. Yeah, we can. I help you to get a device. If you want to set your lab, we can help you to get the devices if you want to set it. But we don't sell it. We are a training center. We are a support company. So we do support for companies, and then we also do training as well.
Okay, I hear.
Are you good? Okay, so let me answer your question. The CCTV comes under what we call the electronic security services. Okay, which is not under the Cisco's purview. Okay, so you can actually do that training separately from the CCNA training. But we run that training as well. But if you look at the Cisco training, the CCTV architecture we have what we call the analog and digital. And the digital also run on the IP and all of that. So if you are having even a CCNA background, it's so easy to have the knowledge in CCTV. If you actually even have one day or self-taught, you can do it. All right. It's not part. It's not part of this class. Cisco CCNA will definitely going to be purely on the network management on routing and switching protocols and stuff like that. It's not going to be on the electronic security. Are you good?
Okay.
Now, we also have the CCNA security, which is another course that you have to do after the routing and switching. You can decide to go to do that security. CCNA security is not electronic security.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you good?
Okay.
That limits you to the protection of Cisco infrastructure. Cisco both their hardware and software. That's basically about it.
Okay, so
Okay.
I think some hands
Yes,
on
I
Ivy's.
guess I'm going to do.
The what?
I hope the answer is making I make a bit of sense.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm
sure,
good.
sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
it's
sure,
okay.
sure.
So any question again, please? I'm here.
Yes, there's a hand lifted. Okay, so I've unmuted you. You can talk. Techno C8. You can talk. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. How different is your Cisco security from internet security? That's one. And two, does the price you mentioned now, does it cover the security, or when you finish the routing, you come to the security aspect differently?
Okay. Jesse, let me handle one part and you take the next part. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what I want to say is that what you are going to do is CCNR and S composite. Okay. And this one has a security component of it. But you can finish this one and do the specialization in CCNA security. Like, for example, you can do Microsoft certification in the MCS security server, and they have a bit of security in there. And then you can also do a specialization in security in one of the modules. So what this course will actually introduce you to security as part of the routing and switching protocol you're going to do. Okay, but you can also specialize as a CCNA security expert when you take that course later after this course. Is that okay? The first bit, Jess, you can hand the first bit for me.
Yeah, okay, fine. So when we talk about something like the cyber ops and internet security, I don't know what you mean by internet security, but if I get you right, internet
Yeah,
security.
that I'm talking about cyber. I'm getting cyber security.
Cyber security. Sure. Okay, fine. So with cyber security, you would have to do cyber ops. Okay, so cyber ops would tackle more of a generalized view of cyber security. It really doesn't focus too much on the Cisco concentrations. So then it opens a lot of avenues for you. So you can do the CCNA cyber ops.
Are you good?
Okay.
Okay, so okay, somebody said, okay, can I get a slide? Okay, we'll try and see what we can do. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're having a challenge, okay.
Yes.
So there are no questions in the report.
Okay, Mr. Nashi,
So if I get the first, if I get the first answer right, it means your security aspect is different from the cost you mentioned now for the routing, right?
Yeah, with the, you see, like I think I showed something. You know, when you come to the associate level, you have three major courses there now. You have DevNet, you have CCNA, then you have Cyber Ops. So if you are interested in doing cyber security, then you have to go for Cyber Ops. But the security component in the CCNA will touch a little bit of, it will touch on security, but then it won't be extensive. So if your pure focus is going into cyber security, then you can do the CCNA cyber ops. You get it? So you become a cyber ops associate.
And you do that?
Yes, we do that.
You do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But I think that, Jesse,
So, well,
what you have to understand also is what you have to understand is that most of the certification, the precursor to do that is CCNA routing and switching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to get the CCNA routing and switching as the base. Then you can think about any other thing. Are we good?
Yeah, good. But I think he has the base.
Yeah.
I think he's not very much of a green person. I think he has the fundamentals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fundamentals.
Yeah. I think he's already done CCNA. So.
CCNA. Okay.
Yeah. So then going to cyber ops shouldn't be a problem for him.
No, that's fine. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys don't have questions again?
When do you hope to? Is there any plan for organizing for the cyber op that you talked about?
The cyber ops. Okay, you can always pass by the office and then we'll schedule a class.
You can always call us, or just if you are ready, we can get you to start.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming through. I'm I guess we have enjoyed the session. So if it was good for you, you can give us a thumbs up or just say it was great or something. Just comment about the event. And then if you didn't enjoy any part of the session, just make a comment for us to know. So the next time we can make it better. So you can just comment whether it was a positive thing for you or the downside. Just tell us how you feel about the event, and then you can sign out. So thank you for coming through.
Yeah, I don't know. I invited a friend. I don't know if he's part of us. He's called Emmanuel Ahianyo. Is anybody here like that?
Oh, okay. You can check through. You can check through the participants. You can see some names there. So if you look at the participant, you can see whether he is around or not.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for those who are giving us thumbs up. We are grateful. If you have any side you want us to work around, we can also work around. Okay, please, who is the facilitator at the time of branch? Okay,
Sir Iman, before you leave us, one question more, please.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, do you do something about architectural drawings in terms of engineering?
We were trying to experiment it, but we have not really gotten there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that it's something we're trying to think around in Tema, but when we get it, we'll see how we'll there on.
Okay.
So you can send me a WhatsApp and I will maybe give you some data as and when I get it. All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Evans. So if please don't just talk about that. If there's any part you didn't enjoy so much, just let us know. Okay. Address them. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Jesse.
Yeah.
So any final notes before they leave?
Okay, so thank you all guys for coming, and I guess you take everything I have said quite seriously, because then you have a career with Cisco, so just try as much as possible to start now. Now is the best time to start. Don't wait till it's too late. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, see you guys.
Okay. Thank you.